Two online jewelry sellers in Taguig City were robbed of more than 3 million pesos worth of merchandise and cash. The suspects also stole a motorcycle to escape. We have this report.
Kumaripas ang online seller na yan habang hinahabol ng hold-upper na armado ng baril sa Taguig City. Nadapa ang biktima at nabitawan ng bag niyang naglalaman ng mga alahas. Dinampot naman ito ng hold-upper saka umangkas sa motorsiklo sa may takas. Sa pangkuha ng CCTV, makikitang binangga ng driver ng biktima ang mga kawatan. Inabandona naman ng mga sospek ang kanilang motorsiklo at tumakbo. Nakunan muli sila sa isang kalsada na tinutukan ng baril at inagawan ng motorsiklo ang isang delivery rider. Doon na tuluyang nakatakas ang mga sospek, tangay ang mahigit 3 milyong pisong halaga ng mga alahas at pera. Sa investigasyon ng barangay, una muna nagpakilalang buyer ang mga sospek sa dalawang biktimang online seller. Nang nag-meet up na, kinorner ng 4 na kawatan na sakay ng 2 motorsiklo mga biktima.
Nung makita yung 2 biktima, ang timanaw tinutukan ng baril. Hinabol yung isa bumalik sa sasakyan. Kaya nung makuha nila yung bag nung biktima, sumakay ng motor, tumakas.
Patuloy ang investigasyon para mahuli ang mga sospek. Nagbabalita mula sa Frontline, Nina Ongpauco, News 5.
Congressman Zaldi County denies allegations that he is involved in collecting flood control project kickbacks. He assures that he will return to the Philippines to answer allegations in a proper forum. We have this report.
Sa sulat ni Ako Bicol Party List Representative Elizalde Co kay House Speaker Faustino D. III, tiniyak niyang babalik siya sa Pilipinas para sagutin ang mga alegasyon laban sa kanya kaugnay sa anomalya sa mga flood control project. Haharapin daw niya ang mga akusasyon sa tamang forum. Pero nangangamba raw si Co kung ano ang naghihintay sa kanya pagbalik sa Pilipinas dahil nahusgahan na raw siya ng publiko at ni D kasunod ng pagkansela sa kanyang travel clearance nang hindi man lang daw siya hinihinga ng paliwanag at kahit wala pang reklamong inihahain laban sa kanya. Matatanda ang nag-leave si Co nang uminit ang issue sa mga budget insertions para raw magpagamot sa Amerika. Pero ang travel authority niya para rito, kinansela ng maupo bilang speaker si D. Ang Department of Justice, kinukumpirma pa raw ang ulat na wala na sa Amerika si Co at ngayon ay nasa Spain na. Sa kanyang sulat, iginiit ni Co na wala siyang tinanggap na pondong konektado sa mga proyekto ng DPWH. Pinabulaanan din niya ang alegasyon na mag-isa siyang gumawa ng budget insertion sa 2025 national budget. Hindi raw ito totoo dahil aprobado naman ng Senado at Kamara at bicameral report na sumunod umano sa proseso. Hindi rin daw totoo ang bintang na humingi siya ng fish import allocations para sa ZC Victory Fishing Corporation. Wala raw siyang kinalaman sa naturang kumpanya at hindi raw Zaldico ang ibig sabihin ng ZC kundi Zamboanga City. Pati ang alegasyong pag-aari niya ang eroplanong naghatid kay dating Pangulong Rodrigo Duterte sa The Hague, the Netherlands, pinabulaanan niya. Umaasa si Co na pagbalik niya sa Pilipinas, bibigyan siya ng due process at matitiyak ang kaligtasan niya at ng kanyang pamilya. May hanggang September 29 si Representative Elizalde Co na bumalik sa bansa. Alinsunod ito sa direktiba ng Speaker. Kung hindi siya makakabalik sa nasabing petsa, babala ng Speaker, mahaharap si Co sa disciplinary at legal actions. Sabi pa ni D, hindi naman prejudgment kay Co ang pagbawi sa travel clearance nito, kundi oportunidad para direktang harapin ni Co ang mga alegasyon sa tamang forum. Tiniyak pa ng Speaker na kung babalik nga sa bansa si Co, makikipag-ugnayan ng Kamara sa mga otoridad para masiguro ang kaligtasan niya at kanyang pamilya. Sakaling hindi umuwi sa takdang petsa si Co, sabi ng Malacanang, maaari raw humingi ang Department of Justice ng Blue Notice mula sa International Police o Interpol. Ito ay para sa pagkalap ng karagdagang impormasyon sa pagkakakilanlan, lokasyon o aktibidad ng isang tao kaugnay ng isang criminal investigation.
Maaari din naman po maghiling ang DOJ ng Blue Notice at dahil nagsisimula na rin po sila mag-imbestiga. Pero bilang courtesy po sa Senado, mas nanaisin po nila na mauna po ang Senado kumilos dito.
Para sa GMA Integrated News, Tina Panganiban Perez.
You should never give up. USL will be right back.
Ms. Adriana Arecio would like to thank the following: Mary Brown and TAE Incorporated.
Fired into the headquarters of the NFL in Midtown Manhattan, killing 4 people before taking his own life, had CTE, according to the New York Medical Examiner.
The gunman who opened fire at the NFL's New York City headquarters, killing 4 people, including a police officer, claimed he had a traumatic brain injury from football, urging scientists to study his brain. And tonight, investigators confirm he did have CTE. Shane Tamura drove cross-country from Las Vegas and used an assault-style rifle in the July rampage at 345 Park Avenue before he shot and killed himself. Police say they found this note in Tamura's pocket, blaming the NFL for concealing the dangers to players' brains to maximize profits. He also wrote, "Study my brain, please. I'm sorry." Tonight, the New York City Medical Examiner says a study of Tamura's brain found unambiguous diagnostic evidence of chronic traumatic encephalopathy, also known as CTE, but stopped short of saying what role, if any, it played in the shooting.
Hey, we're here with standout running back Shane Tamura.
Tamura played high school, not professional football. His family had warned he was suffering, his mother calling 911 last year.
He was just crying and said, "I'm not going to be able to go any further."
Lionel Richie shares vulnerable details from his life story in his new memoir, Truly.
Song earning him his first Grammy. Lionel beginning his early years in Tuskegee, Alabama, where I was born, and how those years influenced the man he is today.
In one respect, it created the person that sees the world the way I see the world, which is the world. On another hand, I thought they left out a lot of the pain of it.
Performing at talent shows as a freshman at the then Tuskegee Institute in the late 60s ultimately led Lionel to the Commodores.
You once
known for timeless tracks like 3 Times a Lady.
3 times a lady.
Performed here on the iconic Soul Train. Let's talk about the Commodores. The
Well,
Commodores!
Thank God for the Commodores, because I never would have discovered Lionel Richie. Because I found something in my life that was never present until I joined the band.
Do you have a favorite Commodore song?
Brick House will always be, forget about it. This was the only song where I thought my grandmother was actually going to disown me. I thought it was kind of disgraceful myself until it became a hit.
After over a decade of hits and touring across the world, the shocking split.
This is the closest thing to brothers I've ever had in my whole life. And they pushed me. I grew up with these guys. I was having such a moment of discovery that I could write that I didn't realize that, okay, that's a hit, and then that's a hit. And that's a hit.
If you wrote the song, you got more money.
You wrote the song. You're the writer of that song. You get a check for the sales of that song as a writer.
Flagged headlines you know. I'm Adriana Arecio. Coming up next, Sparkle You.